guys, welcome back to Growin' and Crowin'. So it's early March, and as you can see a couple of our garden boxes out there, and the snow is flying. I think a lot of us are really just itching to get into the garden and start seeds and that sort of thing. Honestly, I feel a little behind on what I normally have been doing by now. I've normally got it all sketched out and kind of an idea of what I'm going to be putting in our garden and what we're going to grow. I did finally get some seeds bought, so I thought today I would share a little bit of kind of what I've been planning and what seeds I've bought so far. So first we'll just start with some ones that I had left over from last year, so I'll absolutely still use them. Baker Creek has always been who I order from. I don't know if you can see that. And they send out a really beautiful catalog every year. So that's where all of these came from last year. We've got some lettuce mixes left over. Sweet peas, I never did get them put in because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted them. A bit more lettuce. So as far as the lettuces, I never used to do them, simply because I would never get them planted early enough. But once I got one of my green stalks, and now I have two of them, that's kind of the perfect place to put those different types of lettuce and that sort of thing. So that's what we'll be doing again this year. So I'll probably end up getting a couple different varieties or seed packs as well. And actually I may have got a couple of those here that's in my other pile that I'll share here in just a minute. I really liked this one, the Cosmic Chrism Mix. So my kids and my family just kind of, I don't know, they're a little weirded out by the different lettuces. I think they're just so used to, you know, the standard store-bought lettuce that they cringe just a little bit. And I'm like, hold on, I got lettuce in the garden. I'm gonna go cut it and we'll have a wrap, or we'll put it on BLTs or something like that. But I think they'll get there. And it's just something kind of cool to grow, and one of those first things that you can start, you know, before it's while it's still cold out. So there's another one that we've done. That one I feel like is a little more bitter, if I remember correctly. So really pretty growing. And oh, that's just a basil seed that they probably, yeah, they sent free. So when you order some stuff, they'll throw in some free seeds. Kind of a cool way to try stuff. Oh, there's a little, I did try some of these, and I think these little Tom Thumb lettuce, I think what I did is probably didn't thin them out enough, so they get these tiny little, you know, lettuce heads. But there's still some seeds left in there, so we'll try those, you know, maybe this year. Cilantro, it's slow bolt. I don't know. We've never had good luck with getting this to be ready at the same time as our tomatoes, so we can use it for salsa and that sort of stuff. But you know, we use cilantro in a lot of stuff, so we'll probably throw that in and give her a try again. Carrots will be another thing that we'll start early. This one, New Caranda, I'm not sure. Clearly I did not even open it last year, so I did not get that one in the ground, but we'll do that. Carrots and radishes, kohlrabi, all of those things. I'm so bad about thinning because I feel terrible pulling them out. Obviously you need to, so they'll grow and get a better size. So those will all go first. I might even try those carrots and radishes in those green stalks once we get those out and rolling. We store them in our greenhouse for the winter. So we'll do that. I have some cute little marigold seeds that we have left from last year, so we'll put those in. I've never used to like marigolds as a kid. I just thought they smelled terrible, but there's so many different varieties of them that I do try to put them in quite a few places in the garden just to help keep away bugs. Sugar Daddy snap peas. These are one of the kids' favorites. We have not had them in a couple of years, and I actually end up with 2 packs of them. So one expired or sell by 22 and one sell by 23. So they're not going to grow in the pack, so we might as well throw them in some dirt and see if they come up. So we won't throw those out, but we'll try them. Oh, here's another marigold. Sweet Mexican Mint is what this one's called. So we'll do some of those. These both the varieties are like really small little dainty flowers. I think they're kind of cool. Just different than what you normally see with marigolds and the sweet peas. So that's all I have left from Baker's Creek last year. And So we'll use those, but once I get this planned out, we'll probably end up, you know, getting a few other things local, or see what else we need to fill in with. So we have a neat new store that's just up the road from us in Viola. It's a Prairie Crossroads Mercantile, and actually some good friends of ours own it, and it's a super cool little place to shop and check out. But she also brought in heirloom seeds this year, so I was super happy because, again, I have been behind on planning this whole garden stuff and just not quite sure what I was going to do. So when she posted that they had got some seeds, and I was like, okay, that's a sign. Go get some seeds, get started, and kind of helps with the whole winter blues and being stuck inside when it's crappy and snowy and rainy outside. So, I'll throw some video in here too that I snagged while I was in the store. I was like, don't mind me, I'm just videoing your seeds, it's fine. She didn't care, but, so I did grab some spinach. That's one thing too. My kids do love to throw into a salad or on a wrap. So, that'll probably go in my green stock as well. We'll put that there. A couple more radishes. That's a sparkle. It's a different variety than what I have for those, so that'll be kind of cool to try. And then cucumbers. I love cucumbers. I'll eat them just as a cucumber. Erin prefers them as a pickle. So I did, she had a Boston pickling kind, and so as long as we can pick them early enough, then, you know, hopefully we can get some pickles made this year. So those will for sure go. That'll go in the big garden. I kind of always plant those next to our little archway as you go in. Got a lot of flowers. I did grab some more lettuce. This is just a butter crunch. So I'm assuming this is one of those that if you thin out, it'll become kind of a head. Otherwise it's like kind of like the other ones, like the leaf lettuce. She also had, and I don't know that I got a picture of it or a video, but there's a whole station of flowers. There's quite a few. So this brand name that she carries is Bentley Seed Company, and I've honestly never heard of it. I love that it was an heirloom seed, and so I'm excited to try these seeds this year, something new. And obviously, buying them local is the best way to go and help and support a local business. So I did get some Autumn Beauty sunflowers. I've grown those before and really like those. Some cosmos. I did cosmos the last couple of years, and they're quickly becoming one of my favorite flowers. Zinnias. I can never have enough zinnias, and I have jars full of seeds in the pantry that's saved from last year to replant. And then chocolate cherry sunflowers. I've done those too as well, and those are awesome. So I know pretty much where I'm going to put those. And then I grabbed a pack of microgreens. I've never grown these, so I think actually that's going to be on my to-do list today. I picked up some seed starting mix from Walmart the other day, and so I think I'm going to give these microgreens a try, actually just right here in this room inside, because it's not warm enough outside yet to be outside of my big greenhouse, or it is during the day probably, but at night it's going to get too cold. So these we'll try. I kind of think just doing some research with the microgreens, it's more of just grow them and cut them and eat them, and then they're done. So I may go grab a couple little like inexpensive dishes somewhere or see what I have laying around here that I can do maybe 3 different starts of them. So like kind of stagger them just a little bit. So that is on my to-do list today as well. And then these are, I think I picked these up at Kelowna. So some Blue Lake bush beans. Those are probably my favorite green bean variety because they're more of a bush and they're not binding. So for our garden boxes, those work well because they don't take up a ton of space. And then these were just ones, I bought these little seed packs for something else, but then I could save a few of our own seeds. So this is dill seed from last year. I'd never grown dill before last year, but it did really well, and we actually used it in making some refrigerated pickles. So I saved some seeds from those to start again this year. So one thing I did invest in this year, which I don't normally, Jill Reagan from Whispering Willow Farms. If you haven't seen their channel, which I'm sure most of you have, it's a good one to check out. I found her through Jessica at Roots and Refuge because Actually, Jill and her family bought Roots and Refuge Old Farm. So anyhow, I've been following both of those channels for quite some time now. And Jill had it's a download, but it almost becomes an app on your phone where you can select the zone that you live in. And it'll go month by month and kind of tell you what you should be doing as far as starting seeds or what can go in the ground that time of year. And so I just found it like super user friendly. I think it was $15. So I got that. Plus I can, have it right on my phone. So if I'm outside doing something, I can quick go through and read, what needs to be done or what could be planted. There's a companion planting chart there as well. I did go through and print, and that's a cool thing too. You could print the entire thing. It's like 80 some pages. So you could print that if you wanted as well. I went through and printed specifically our zone, plus she has this sheet so I can write, our zone, our last frost date, and go through and get all that organized. Seed starting supplies. This is just kind of, I'll put this in a binder probably for this year with all my seeds. And then a planting chart. And there's the companion planting chart as well, which is always a nice thing. And again, because I downloaded it on my phone, I can go through and quick reference that, make sure, I'm good with those. And then I just printed, like I said, zone 5, the schedule that she has on there. And so it just shows you what you can do, indoor seed starting, kind of what your tasks, and my printer printed on both sides, which is fine. But now we're into March, and I have, I didn't start any seeds indoors this year. We used to do tomatoes and peppers, and which is nice if you have a very specific variety that you want to start indoors. But for me, I ended up with like 60 tomato plants every year, and I was always trying to give them away. So we kind of stopped doing that. I just go and buy those specific plants from our local FFA kids, which again helps them out. So so that's the route that we've kind of gone the last couple of years. I do have a small greenhouse outside that I love, and I use it early in the season when I do buy plants early. So it's not heated. So it's not something that I can, go out now and start those seeds and get going. Maybe someday we'll have something like that, which would be awesome. But for now, it's just a way to be able to get plants earlier in the season and kind of get things started that way. So I do love it. I just can't use it year round like I have always dreamed of, which is, okay as well. Anyhow, so I did print these, the 12 months that she had as far as zone 5. And you can find your zone on that little app, or on the download, I guess I should say. And there's a couple other pages, but these were the ones that I thought, I'd stick into my binder and kind of make some notes in and write down what I planted when and where. So that will kind of help me keep organized that way too. So I'll link Jill's thing below so you can find that easily as well. So we'll stick that aside, and I think I'm going to round up my stuff to start some of the microgreens today. So we'll try that out. So because I've never done microgreens before, I'm just going to kind of do a few different starts and kind of stagger them a little bit and see, how we use them, because it is kind of one of those, like, you just cut them and you eat them and you're done. they don't grow back or, come again kind of thing. So I picked up this cheap little bowl at the dollar store for probably $3 or something. Good thing, because I just about chipped it. So I'm gonna just do our first round in that and see how that works. Okay, so I'm honestly not sure if this is 100% correct or not, but just doing some looking online, this is kind of how I'm gonna try this first little bit of microgreens. Again, we're using the microgreen pack from Bentley. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Jeez Louise. Here we go. So these I picked up locally at Prairie Crossroads, and again, never done them, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I'm just gonna put a little paper towel in the bottom, maybe. some warm water. My thoughts with this is that maybe it will hold some moisture without drowning out the soil. Again, I got the soil seed starting mix just at our local Walmart. So from what I understand, microgreens, they're very good for you, and that's kind of why everybody grows them, and you can grow them indoors pretty easily. But essentially they're young plants like radishes, broccoli, brassicas, that kind of thing, that you just harvest early, and then you eat them on salads or just plain, I suppose, if you want to. So yeah, we just put a little dirt over top of that warm paper towel. Let's see if you can see this. So yeah, you can see there's a good variety in there of different types of seeds. And so you just, you know, you're not going to let them grow full. I'm not honestly sure how thick to put them in there, but we'll just kind of wing it for our first shot. So it does say sow every 10 days for a continual harvest. So I'm not sure. We'll try it again here. I might go pick up a couple other little dishes or try some different containers to put them in. It does say keep dark until after seedlings have sprouted. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to put over top of this in this little greenhouse just for a few days till it sprouts. I need to probably look and see how long it takes for them to sprout so I don't forget them, because forget them underneath of there and then they won't ever sprout. But and it says harvest in 10 to 15 days, so we shall see. I'm going to just kind of spritz them. It doesn't really say. Oh yeah, so it says 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch down. So I'm just going to kind of tap that in there and then add a little bit of soil on top. And because we don't want to just use a heavy stream of water on here and then possibly have those seeds come back up to the top or, you know, sink down, I'm just going to use a little spritz head that's stuck in that cup of warm water. Give them a good kind of soaking to get them going. We'll see. This little greenhouse, I actually got it quite a few years back at a local antique store for, I don't know, 30 bucks or something like that. I've used it for multiple different things. It sat on our kitchen table for a long time. And then I had it outside in the greenhouse, kind of doing double duty with a few things. But I'm going to figure out what I'm going to put over top of that so that it's covered until they start sprouting. But this window, well, it's a cloudy, snowy day, as you can tell today, but otherwise it gets some pretty good sunlight in this room. This was actually our daughter's room, and then we recently did a room swap, and I kind of decided I wanted to have what I'm calling a wellness room that I'm going to fill with some houseplants and try to dive into that just a little bit, and then also have a specific room where I can do some YouTube stuff. I can tell on this video a little bit, it's kind of echoey. So, you know, I need some more plants in here and some more things. I haven't really decorated it yet. And we'll, you know, do a little upgrading on camera equipment and microphones and things as we get going on this channel. But until then, the iPhone is making do and we'll keep sharing from that. So we'll come back here in just a few minutes and we'll finish up. Okay, so I did run up to the dollar store here locally just because I needed to grab a few things for supper. I don't want to lay that against my cactus. So I didn't have a whole lot to get. These little things should have a hook. There. That's not gonna smash my plant. So I grabbed a couple more, or at least one more of these little cereal bowls, $3 a piece. So might be able to grab one more. I can get one more in there. Whoops. But for now, we'll do this. And so I just think they're cute, and they're, you know, cheap and inexpensive. So they get broke or whatever, it doesn't matter. So I thought the plates, because they have kind of a lip, would be perfect to sit upside down until, you know, they start to sprout a little bit. And you're supposed to keep them in the dark. So, so yeah, we're gonna try that. See if those will start coming up. And a little rickety thing. And then I did find this also, which I thought was super cute. It's a little plant mister for $3. So that'll work good for these sprouts. I'll probably just, maybe keep it right on the shelf down here, and throw this in here. That one needs fixed. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see if those will start to grow over the next few days or so. Thank you so much for joining us today. We would love if you'd leave a comment and let us know what you're growing in your garden this year.